And just like that, season 3, episode 10. Better than sex. Carrie has a burst of creative energy and receives glowing feedback from Duncan. Brady drops a bombshell on Miranda and Steve. Anthony meets Giuseppe's eccentric roommate, and LTW struggles with the demands of work, home, and a visit from her mother-in-law. You know what the problem is here, y'all? I'm in shambles because they just announced that and just like that is canceled.
Oh my God. Wait, it's the real episode. It's the main feed. Maybe you guys weren't here for the live stream. Michael Patrick King. Canceled.
Unfortunately, I'm in mourning. I feel like I've made a complete 180 somehow. And like at the beginning, I'm like, I effing hate this show. And now I'm to a point where I'm like, I need my aunt just like that. What's going to happen? We only have 2 episodes left to wrap up an entire series.
Let me read the statement here for our audio listeners here.
Yes.
For anyone who wasn't at the live stream. This is Michael Patrick King talking. And just like that, the ongoing storytelling of the Sex and the City universe is coming to an end. While I was writing the last episode of And Just Like That, season 3, it became clear to me that this might be a wonderful place to stop. Along with Sarah.
Is that how it went? That's how it went. When you were writing the last episode, you thought, well, let's end it.
I think that he just got pissy because of. Well, okay, wait.
I think
along with Sarah Jessica Parker, Casey Bloys, and Sarah Aubrey, we decided it's like also. Can you maybe put in brackets right after that an indication of who the fuck both of those people are? Because
that's what I.
It's kind of out of context here. We decided to end the popular series this year with the 2-part finale. It is popular. Why do you have such an issue with that?
I mean,
they're popular.
But you don't need to write that in your...
Yeah, it's kind of bitchy, right?
I mean, like...
Okay.
He's trying to really send home, like, they didn't ask us to do this. We thought this was the time to end it.
I know.
Oh, you really thought in your storyline where you're headed by introducing Brady knocking some girl up 2 episodes before your series finale. That was you thinking it's a nice time to end? Really? Anyway, sorry, I did. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to end the series with a 2-part finale and extended the original series order from 10 episodes to 12. SJP and I held off announcing the news until now because we didn't want the word final to overshadow the fun of watching the season. It has been fun, I will say that.
It has.
It's with great gratitude that we thank all this. I feel like it's dripping with sarcasm, almost like it's with great gratitude. We thank all the viewers who have let these characters into their homes and their hearts over these many years. Michael Patrick King, showrunner, writer, and director.
Okay, guys. I think that they're gonna I think that it's kind of hard because you're putting in this place where we're supposed to have a finale for these characters as well. Like, you brought these people out of the grave that we as Sex and the City fans from the start, like, I do want a redeeming somewhat ending for Carrie and for Miranda and Charlotte. The other ones I don't really care about. But even in his own thing, you know, letting them into your heart over the years and your homes. And you're right. Sex and the City came out 20 some years ago. And we deserve a better, more like real ending that you've built to than whatever you're going to give us. I can almost sadly predict that whatever the end is, it's just going to be like, actually, sorry, I'm all over the place. I hope they do the thing where they're like, oh, they just go to lunch and then it's like a normal day like any. Because don't try and put some bow on be like, Carrie then moved to London and lived with Duncan forever and ever and happy.
Or they're going to try to do something way too epic. Except the first series ended well with her coming back from France.
Yeah, and it ended like, oh, life goes on in a way.
You know what had a really good a series we used to cover, Broad City, had a really good finale. It's just like her coming out of the subway on the phone and then And then as she walks out, the camera zooms out and you just see other groups of 2 women. It's like, makes me like want to cry to say it. It's just like, here's 2 little friendships walking around. Yeah.
And that's what they said too about that, was like, that's what they wanted to portray, was that there's Abby's and Alana's all over, and you know, their story is always told in these friendships, right? Which is what they should do. In fact, make the last 2 episodes Charlotte, Carrie, and Miranda. And
I would love that. Yeah, because could we just tie up Seema and George Washington now? I mean, she hasn't fucked Marion.
Seema and George Washington.
LTW and George Washington.
LTW is not gonna fuck Marion. She yelled at her kid this episode, and George Washington lost comptroller. I mean, like, there's her storyline, unfortunately. And they also didn't integrate Seema or LTW.
But that Seema's storyline could absolutely end right now. We never see her again. Because it ended with Adam being like, that's what I'm here for, to water your plants.
You could have it be that the 3 ladies go on a trip. I don't even know.
The 3 ladies go to visit Duncan in London, and then Carrie realizes there. She goes to the bridge where she threw Big's ashes on. That was in France. But anyway, something happens, and she decides that she would rather just be a widow, a single widow, and now she can just learn who she is. And maybe that is what it, because the preview for next week has Amanda, her editor, saying, where's the last chapter? And saying,
I didn't watch the preview.
Oh, that's what happened. She goes, you've written a romantic tragedy here, Carrie. So Carrie's going to have to write 1 more chapter. So I wonder if maybe they will give us the single Carrie storyline. That's what I dream for.
That's what people want.
It is what people, you don't think it is what people want. They don't think that's what people want.
I feel that this show, unfortunately, has made it seem like everyone is going to end up alone and miserable when they're 60. You know, like, and it would be just kind of nice if Carrie could just end up in a relationship. You know?
Here's another news and gossip really quickly, but Bobby Lee did come out with some like statement, was it? Or was it just like an interview?
Okay, I am 1,000% on the side of being woke. I think that, now I do think they were heavy-handed in it in the first 2 seasons, of course.
Bobby, wokeness.
Event just like that.
Yeah.
Bobby Lee, guys, remember he was in the first 2 seasons, and I hate him every time I see him. He just bugs me.
He's on Love. And he's annoying in that too.
His whole relationship, like they had him be, I guess, I wouldn't have even considered him a side character. Enough. I mean, they involved him and his girlfriend getting married.
Smoke.
Yes. He came out this week saying that he, I don't know if he was asked. I think he must have been asked about it. And
I don't even think he was asked. Yeah, he
says that he thinks his character was cut because they eliminated woke elements such as Sarah Ramirez and Naya.
So he considers himself, what's woke about him that he thinks that, like, he's not a woke character?
I think he only is probably saying that because he is a minority.
Is he calling them racist? I think that's more what he's going
No, I think he's saying that I can kind of piece together slightly and in a minor way agree that the show did make a slight course change
100%.
From season 2 to 3. I think that in the first 2 seasons, they were trying to
I think they were throwing a whole bunch of spaghetti against the wall and seeing what stuck, and then they would just let the other things drop down.
Well, I think they were trying to make, I think ultimately, if we're talking about like bringing in diversity into the show, I think what they were trying to do is do something that they did not do originally and should have had from the start.
Yeah.
I'm of the ilk that like at least 2 of the 4 women, you live in New York City, at least 2 of the 4 women should have been women of color from the beginning. I'm sorry. I know we love these women, but you could have easily had Sex in the City with not 4 white ladies. Just saying. They're in New York City.
Yeah.
So I understand what they were trying to do is they were trying to diversify the show, which it needed, but they almost did it too much in a way which kind of comes off as insulting to people who are like, you don't need to punch me over the face with it.
Exactly. It seemed very condescending from the start. Like, we're teaching you a lesson, but we're millennials. Like, we learned a lot of these lessons by experiencing them and living through them. So you don't have to actually teach us anything.
It feels like kind of the people who needed to learn the lesson were, well, the person,
MPK and the writer.
MPK. So maybe we were just watching him in his rich, out of touch way, learn the lesson. So I do understand what Bobby Lee is saying, though I don't believe I could hear that. If Sarah Ramirez wanted to use that argument, fine.
Yeah.
Bobby Lee, your character actually shouldn't have even continued past the podcast ending. 100%. You're lucky that you somehow stayed around the rest of the time. You shouldn't have.
It didn't even make sense when that did.
Carrie Bradshaw and Bobby Lee would never in a million years need to be friends.
Sarah Ramirez actually should be. I think if they bring this to their grave and hold a grudge, I would be like, I support that, because this is what it was. They completely threw them under the bus because the writers and producers made it seem like it was a Sarah thing, or they at least didn't argue or go to bat for them or say
they just acted like the character was cringy and annoying, so they decided to cut the character.
Well, that's what the problem actually was, though, is that you wrote an unlikable character. It's not about anything politically going on with Sarah or anything.
Though a lot of things did converge at the same time, and Sarah Ramirez was very vocal about the various wars going on.
Exactly. So I think they used that as an excuse for them just being shitty writers and not being able to figure out what to do with this character.
Yeah.
They just kind of threw Sarah Ramirez like, oh, we're just getting rid of the character.
See, and I'm completely in support of Sarah Ramirez's views and that stuff. And if I was her, I'm on the same track of you of saying, like, if I was her, I would, God damn it, I'm so sorry. If I were them, I would be like, well, fuck, and just like that. You saddled me with trash, and then you trashed me.
Yes. I went from Callie and the Lady of the Lake to now Che Diaz is my legacy.
And that is unfortunate because it will be.
It kind of will be. I mean, but I think Che has already aged in a campy way. Like, we'll always be like, oh, Che
if
Diaz.
I met Sarah Ramirez, I would be like, I know this is probably triggering, but Che Diaz, like, you gave me bring back Che Diaz.
You did exactly what was on that page.
You did. I mean,
gave that.
I can't argue that Sarah Ramirez was a bad actor in the show at all.
Well, how could anyone even think that after knowing the whole everything? Have you ever seen an episode of Grey's Anatomy?
I have. All of these lines across my face.
Oh, that episode, I feel like people always talk shit on that episode because it is, but that episode is almost like the Che Diaz of Grey's Anatomy because it's so crazy. But then Sarah singing that song at the end of that episode is like an iconic pop culture moment for me.
People also want to act like the Grey's Anatomy musical episode was like so surprising. A lot of shows,
Seventh Heaven we covered,
do musical episodes. Isn't there like a Scrubs musical episode?
Scrubs one. There's a Buffy one.
I mean, there's a lot of shows, and they were doing that as a gimmick for a bit.
And Grey's actually was pretty good because most of the people there could sing. Like,
and they also wore masks the whole time. It was like we're like, and then they sang like, what were the songs? Like, it was like,
Owen sings like, slow down. I don't know. He's like crazy in that. But Miranda sings like.
Anyway, guys, you know what? And just like that does, it brings out hot takes and it brings out thoughts. So, you know,
justice for Che Diaz is all
I agree. I mean, like, they threw them under the bus so hard.
Let's get Sarah on the podcast. I'd be so intimidated.
I would.
Very few people that would intimidate me as much.
The problem is, if Sarah Ramirez went back and listened to like any of our episodes, I am terrible. I feel like I misgender accidentally, and it's like so annoying, and you know, like and we're terrible. We don't edit, but also how do you edit? What am I going to go back and be like, throw in a they over? Anyway, like, like, you know, that's terrible. Guys, I love Sarah Ramirez, and I wish that they would have given.
I don't think you've ever said anything bad about her. We never said anything bad about Sarah Ramirez for certain in all of our recaps, but we're gonna read you the recaps anyway.
I would say too. I think it's also. I think if you actually cared, if it wasn't a petty reason of getting rid of Sarah Ramirez and it was just a character thing, they would have referenced the character this season.
They haven't referenced Big John.
They did.
Oh, when she's like, I cheated.
She's like to Seema. I can't even remember what she says, but
I cheated on him.
See, they would have referenced Che at least once. They showed Naya.
They do?
Remember they showed Naya in a pan across in the what happened last season? It was LTW and Naya, I think it was like when LTW interviewed Naya, but they didn't once show Che. And you can't tell me you did a what happened last season of season 2 of And Just Like That and not show Che.
I just have like acid reflux come like from my like ass.
Because of Che?
Because of Che.
It's because I'm sad. Like, I think ultimately, before we really get down to it, sorry guys for sticking in here and listening.
It was only 16 minutes. That felt like we had been talking for 45 minutes. I'm also stoned right now.
I am sad. I know some people are like, thank God it's over. But
no one said that in the chat.
There were. There were a couple people. Okay. Speaking of, guys, check out our lives over on YouTube if you're just watching this or just listening. We have lives every Friday, and we only have 2 episodes left. So Friday, 2 p.m. EST. And what was I saying?
Check out our Patreon. This week we did Vanderpump Rules, Vegas with a Vengeance. We also do episodes of Girls and Smash over there.
And we do Pillow Talk. Too.
And we do Pillow Talk, which is really slutty. Really quickly, John, I was just looking through all our pictures here, and I saw King of Drag, and I just forgot to tell you
it's over.
I know, I saw that, but
did you watch it?
I'm currently watching All Winners. Drag Race because I was drunk when I watched it the first time. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you never watched it?
I mean, I was.
It's so good.
It's great. Jinx. Fucking love Jinx. Yeah. All right, let's get into this episode, shall we? I'm leading. Yes, I'm leading.
Hopefully, because I don't have any notes. So go for it.
All right, love it. Okay, so my head hurts. All right. Autumn.
You got this.
Thanks. Autumn was here, and as the leaves turned gold and the air turned crisp, the woman had returned to herself. Her hours turned into days, and her days turned into weeks. Her pain turned into productivity. I actually think this is well written, this whole paragraph.
I liked this.
Just putting it out there. The family that would never inhabit her home or her heart faded from her life the way the golden leaf faded to brown at her feet. She had done what she could. She had done what she could. She had done all she could. And Duncan is fucking floored. The way you repeated it 3 times, Carrie.
Well, you know, he is a 5-time bestseller. Though Carrie's a 7-time bestseller.
That exchange was really good too, actually. But anyway, Duncan's he's like the other brilliant thing, the man dying from the untreated wound from the previous battle. And that's when I said this during the live, but I was like, this is what the writers thought they were doing the whole season. But now I was like, that was really good writing there to reference Aiden without referencing, letting us fill in the concept by ourselves.
I still think we could use some better voiceover because I mentioned this on the live, but I did watch the first episode of season 4, like, you know, and it's Carrie and them at the bar and Carrie being like, across the bar, Samantha was blah, blah, blah. Like that actually helps your show. That would help the show anyway. Continue.
Yeah. Oh my God. It makes such a huge difference.
Duncan is hot in this episode though. And you knew, we knew what was coming.
he says, this is Scotch. Oh my God, this is Scotch worthy. And Carrie's pouring the Scotch. I was wondering if Duncan might have a little issue with alcohol because everything he's always drinking Scotch. Carrie got mad about the Scotch comment.
See, and this is my grade A queerness here, but
oh yeah, somebody wrote a comment saying John's a grade A queer. It's funnier than what I think.
We put out these videos this week, like that could be considered mildly controversial. Probably there's one about Sydney Sweeney's thing, and then, well, they're controversial if you're like a Trump supporter or a conservative.
Sweeney comments were actually, some of those were pretty thoughtful, I thought. Yes. And there was like a pretty fair back and forth. And I like that. Then we talked about South Park and Trump, and we got a few Trump.
Some person said, I thought that was a woman at first. That you got a grade A queer right there or something like that. Which to me, I'm like...
And I said John should make his label here say John grade A queer.
It's actually not that bad.
No, it's like...
I mean, it's... Yeah. Their intention is god-awful. But the actual term grade A queer isn't that terrible. Like, it's kind of funny. If I had a shirt...
men have higher voices. Oh, you really cracked it wide open.
Also... I don't know what's going on with straight men, but if they can't tell that this is not a woman talking, they have problems. I don't care if I could talk in the highest voice I could possibly talk in on here, and you can still tell me that's a gay. I mean, like, you're not dumb. That's not a woman. Anyway, my grade A queerness is asking, I just keep noticing that this home keeps revealing tiny little rooms everywhere. Carrie's home has like little tiny rooms. He walks to this like bar room, this dark wood bar room.
Is this Carrie's house they're at?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, right? It was like a closet. I don't know.
It was like a dark wood closet bar room. And then later, when Carrie shows him her closet and then this other closet, which was weird because the first closet was huge and the second one was like small.
Kind of like a railway closet.
It was kind of strange to me because she's like, oh, and this one. And he's like, wow, you're a fairy tale. I mean, I would have fucked him weeks ago. Like,
for sure. And he's kind of skinny, so I feel like he could really move those hips around. Carrie's broken hip.
He spread it open and flicked the beam.
What? What were you saying?
He spread it open and flicked the beam.
Oh, I was thinking of how that episode with the finger banging is called The Tragically Hip.
Hey guys, in case you didn't know, according to the Writers Room podcast, MPK says the finger banging scene in the kitchen is the hottest thing ever.
Not just MPK, they all are like, it was just so sexy.
I remember distinctly how unsexy it is,
but like almost to the point where it seemed like it had to be intentional.
It seemed like it was on purpose.
Cringy.
And then the flashbacks to it where they're in full fluorescent white light.
Yes, yes.
A liminal
like, hi Miranda. Oh. Do you want me to shotgun you with my marijuana?
I'm gonna miss you just like that. I'll miss you. You guys, make sure you check in a couple weeks because we're going to have our grand finale episode of And Just Like That, I guess.
And then we're doing season 4. We already said that. Okay, so Scotch worthy. Carrie says, writing has come in handy with everything going on lately. And then he says, like, well, what do I know? Something. He goes, what do I know? I only have 5 best-selling books. And she goes, I have 7. And he goes, my biographies are more than 700 pages long. And she's like, the plots are already written for you. And then he goes, I wonder.
Aries kind of are, though, too, because weren't her first books just like
her life,
retelling her own life?
Yeah, she's a biography of her and her friends. He wonders what he would be reading. He's like, I wonder what I would be reading from you if he had still been there. And Carrie says, well, I definitely wouldn't be as far along. And then I didn't write down what it was, but Carrie says something 3 times. Or Duncan goes like, I was waiting for you to ask for Scotch 3 times. The woman asked for a Scotch. The woman asked for a Scotch. The woman asked for a Scotch. And Carrie does that again. Whatever. The scene is over, right?
Impactful that way.
Yeah, I mean, It was a little too righty. It was overwritten, so I didn't write it.
Mhm.
Duncan, by the way, is behind on his own writing. You know, the Margaret Thatcher bio.
Because Carrie is so distracting.
Right. So Miranda, now here we go. That was just a little warm up. Now we got Miranda, Steve, and Brady.
Steve
by
was
the way,
back.
If it hasn't been done already yet, whoever is good at graphic artistry, go ahead and be the first one to make like a Ratatouille reference with this kid's face in it, because that kid looks exactly like the Ratatouille kid.
Well, with the hair grown out too. I wonder,
but with a chef's hat on, do that.
What if he's going to be in the live action
Ratatouille, the musical, the COVID musical? For anyone who's not in our algorithm, during COVID, there was like a Zoom TikTok.
Remy, the Ratatouille, the rat of all my dreams. I don't think that's the tune, actually.
Oh, okay.
That was the lyrics.
That was something that happened during COVID. Okay, well, he wonders.
What a time.
Miranda, Steve, and Brady. And Brady comes up and he's like, guys, I want to go to chef school. So I immediately thought this is going to be, we knew it was going to be some bullshit.
I thought he was moving away.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to move away.
It showed in the previews last week, like that Brady was going to have some big announcement. So the second he said the culinary school thing, I thought that's what this is. But then they're like, oh, great, wonderful. Take a couple bites of food. And then he goes, I have something else to tell you too. I got someone pregnant. Now, what was your reaction, like physically?
I screamed. When he said it, I was like, ah! And then I was just waiting because the conversation continues.
Yeah.
Because I have been like, we made a season 3 predictions video months ago before season 3 came out. When we recapped season 2, that's months ago now. And we said Brady and Lily get pregnant with each other, like that they get get together. And which, from a storyline perspective, it would be great because you would have Charlotte and Miranda could have endless stories.
And they would be relatable and funny.
Endless. Them taking the baby out together, and they both haven't had a baby in so long that they can't remember how to do
and they're different parenting styles. That would be so good. And then you could still have the cast as small.
Instead, they decided to say it's some dumb girl named Mia who turns out to be a god-awful character. I would take 10,000 Diaz's over a Mia again.
And she's a Nepo baby, which I knew.
She's a Nepo baby in real life. She's Ben Stiller and Christina whatever's daughter. Her character is that she farts a lot because she's pregnant. And they're juicy farts.
So funny. Yeah, they're controllable farts.
Her butthole would have to be so blown out. Like the literal pucker would have to just be flapping in the wind to be like.
I saw a statistic that like kids are just like starting out with anal now. Like anal's like a second, third.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy because it really hurts.
That's
like,
insane.
Start out with that, but that's what the kids are doing. Or the religious kids, apparently. That's like a funny trope, but it is actually true.
Well, in this scene, it's like portrayed that Brady's just like a fuck monster and he just has sex with a bunch of women, hooks up with a bunch of people all the time. And Steve is rightly upset. He's like, Brady, no! Actually, can't even remember what he does, but he's all pissed off.
He goes, you ruined your life, Brady. And then he goes, well, he's like someone that doesn't even want you. And then Brady's like, don't make this about me and mom. And Steve's like, you're right. It isn't about me and your mother because I loved your mother and I knew her last name.
That is true. Right? They say that Brady doesn't even know the girl's last name. She doesn't even want him to be involved in the baby's life.
If I were Miranda and Steve, I'd be like, oh, sweet. Then we don't have anything to worry about.
The problem is that, yes, they can say that. They can, the mother of the child can say all they want. Yep. And then later they're like, now trust me, this is not me putting any kind of blame on a woman at all. No, in fact, I think all men should be given vasectomies and then they should pass a test in order to reverse it. Anyway,
I
am being, sarcastic, but also, so I'm just like, this storyline bugged me. I sent Amanda a video of me being like, oh, they're going to say it. They're going to say it. And then they say Mia, and I'm like,
that's disappointing. But I am impressed they went there. But Steve also has the line, you're 20 years old and you don't have $1 to your name for a condom. But then again, like I always say, it just doesn't feel the same. It's like clearly doesn't feel as good. That's why I didn't get a condom. It's not money.
Lord.
It's not money related, Steve.
Well, Amanda also, as we know, guys, check out our Patreon. Amanda likes, I'll leave it at that.
What? Big dicks.
Big dicks. And those condoms
I'm one of those weird girls.
Extra latex or whatever. Those
the what are they called? Maxims? Magnums. It's been so long since I've used a condom.
Amanda's like, the guy's like, the guy's like, hey, let me put on a condom. Amanda like, no! God.
I like grab.
Please practice safe sex, y'all. It's smart. Oh my God.
It doesn't work anymore. Okay.
What a fucking nightmare. Guys, if you're here and you've strapped yourself in, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
if you're at 31 minutes by now.
Steve rages out. They mentioned I knew your mother, you're 20 fucking years old. Rubber.
Some people online are saying they don't like this, that it was so fine that Steve was like, I'm going to beat you up if you talk like that.
Okay, Snowflake. God, this is the way. Okay. Everybody calm the fuck down. He's clearly not threatening to actually.
Now, people were saying that they felt like it seemed out of character, and they think that old Taze Steve would have been like, I'm going to be a grandpa, which I could kind of see. But because of the pattern that Brady has been in now, it's like so far Brady has been like, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to work at your they do mention the oyster.
They do.
They do use this episode to like kind of clear something.
At least Steve's in it.
He should have been in the entire season from the start. And then this episode wouldn't have been so jarring of being like, oh, wait, now they're together for dinner? Oh, wait, they haven't had dinner for months?
Great. Yeah, they're like friends now. Totally fine.
Okay.
And Joy's not there. It's like weird that Joy wouldn't have been invited to that, maybe. I don't know, whatever. Miranda wants to be in the baby's life.
Joy wasn't in this episode at all.
So Charlotte, this next scene I thought was really good. But I don't think, now that we know what we know, I don't think all three women on the phone were in the same, they're on the same day. Yeah, and so like it's hard to watch it and actually appreciate it because all I can think of is, oh, they're like reacting to like nothing.
It gave me, though, glimpses of Sex and the City.
Yeah.
So that was something.
This was and honestly, Cynthia Nixon, thank God, I don't know what happened, but she somehow found her groove again. Miranda found her groove again in season 3. And she's getting
back better, just in time to cancel it.
Yep. So here we are. Anthony and just a smash cut to Anthony and just, my God, my head is hurting.
Anthony's like
bare ass.
Guissepe.
He is bare ass.
He's riding it.
Episode. Does he wear clothes in this episode ever?
The only thing I'll say here is that if we are, again, if you haven't watched season 2, I don't know how you'd be here, but at the end of season 2, we knew that Anthony took dick for the first time, and it was Giuseppe's huge Italian sausage. And so you're telling me that in this scene, Anthony is full on sitting on Giuseppe's.
Oh, really? I took it more as he was just on top, but on top, facing each other. You can do it that way, right?
Wait, no, because Anthony was straddling Giuseppe. If Anthony was on top like that, Giuseppe's legs would be spread open. Anthony's was on top of, God, we're getting into semantics here, but I believe that Anthony was like riding Giuseppe's dick.
So now he's always the top?
If he is just riding Giuseppe's huge dick like that, first of all.
Oh, then when he gets
like,
off.
Oh, la-di-da, it would be like.
Yeah, he should have been like, okay, hang on a second. I need to like slow, right?
If you want to make if we're going to do fart jokes and shit, throw in like a popping sound when it pulls out of his ass or anything.
Do you know how much I would
that's
respect
terrible.
that if they did that, but then not but then not acknowledge it. They love to acknowledge their jokes too much, but that would
just
be
put it even in the very like if
That's
he's
even
getting
funnier.
off of Giuseppe's dick is
Of
we are
Giuseppe's
led
dick?
to believe that Giuseppe's dick is literally, I don't know, 20 inches long.
Like
it is
everyone knows.
humongous.
But
And if
you know who
Anthony's-
else? You know who else has a humongous dick? Is Anthony, which by the way, it was a prosthetic penis. Shocking. But it was like a little contraption. And I didn't even know to look for it the first time. But then they talked about it on the writing room. When he puts his robe on and he's going to the door to answer it for the fireman, he's going
naked?
down boy, down boy. And I thought that was funny, but I didn't notice. But if you go back and look, they have this outrageously long prosthetic under there that's kind of like popping up like this. That
like he's wearing a strap on, basically.
He is, and it's huge. So I'm like, why would Anthony even? He should just be the hot fella.
Logic escapes and just like that, though I do agree. I think it was Gabriel said that Giuseppe looked cute in this episode. I think he did really too. And you know what, as outlandish as this scenario is that Giuseppe's roommate has, we aren't there in the story yet, I still think it gave Sex in the City vibes. It gave me
It did
shades of that.
a Stanford storyline. So we find out that some neighbor in this apartment of either squalor or the Ritz-Carlton, because Anthony's apartment. We can't figure out if Anthony's poor or rich or whatever, because the bedroom looks really nice, but then the kitchen looks like shit. But
none of it.
Okay. Well, the fireman says that one of the neighbors was putting up something. The gas leak.
Someone put in a something in the wall, and then they poked a gas pipe, and then they all have to evacuate, basically.
So they have to go to Giuseppe's house, and so they go there, and he's like, "What do you have, like 3 roommates or something?" And I'm like, "How long have you two been? You guys are like boyfriend, like committed, and you've never asked him what his living situation is before?"
I just think you also would have been to his house.
Right.
I don't.
So he says, "No, I have one roommate. He is an artist and he works overnight shift at Whole Foods."
I definitely wasn't expecting the reveal of the roommate later, but
no. LTW, it's in the Upper West Side, by the way, which actually kind of makes sense because we have a lot of actors live up there because it's like super cheap.
Yeah,
it's like shitty.
But Giuseppe is also supposed to, his Mama Gia was going to buy him like a Keith Haring painting for his bedroom, which is what, $1 million. So let's be real.
At Giuseppe, they're at Giuseppe's. Anthony still is butt ass naked, and they're sleeping. And Giuseppe's artist roommate, who looks like Shmuel,
so bizarre,
like Geppetto, and he walks in, and he's like Anthony, and it's a marionette of clearly Anthony with a huge big.
You mean Giuseppe?
Giuseppe. And Anthony's like, what? And then he goes, Andrew is asexual.
Hey guys, if you just listen to this, do you think by the end he'll still be asexual? And from our live, we found out that the asexual community is not loving this storyline.
Right, we had a few and I'm pretty sure I go back and forth on that on being asexual.
My thing is like I know I'm not asexual, so I'm not going to speak for the asexual community in that way. So I'm like, okay.
But it is a real thing, and and it did turn into just kind of a joke.
Oh, they did use it. Well, they used it as a way of like, I mean, we could honestly wrap up their storyline. Hey guys, here's what happens. Giuseppe Anthony asks Giuseppe to move in. Then Giuseppe's like, I don't know. I don't think I want to do that yet. And then he's like, let me go to the bathroom. And then he walks out into the hallway. And then it's like, and everyone in the world. Oh, Walter's like, PTSD.
Oh, gross.
Oh, you were thinking one way. I was thinking okay, got it.
Oh, I hurt my
Walter, are you used to seeing mommy doing that? You think mommy's getting hurt when she goes, Anyway. Giuseppe walks in and the guy's masturbating, looking at the Giuseppe puppet. And I didn't hate that they had the Giuseppe puppet they made eye contact with each other. I liked that.
But that's that story. And then
the whole
Giuseppe
thing.
runs back and he goes, okay, I will move in tomorrow.
No mention of literally the last episode that said, if you don't leave Anthony, I'm cutting, like Mama Gia, Patty LaPone leaves saying, I'm cutting you off and you will not live here if you whatever. So, okay.
So at that point, I was like, well,
what are our predictions? And after this episode, how are they going to end Anthony and Giuseppe for the series finale?
We might not see them again. Were they in the, I don't think they were in the comings next week.
I think they'll get engaged.
Oh, actually, it shows Carrie. It's Carrie's shot, but you can see the back of Anthony's head and Carrie's talking to him. And she goes, that is not how I thought this conversation was going to go. So, yeah. Could be literally anything. I don't know. She's saying it to Anthony. That's not what I was expecting from
They're going to adopt a baby.
Okay, I mean, I guess that would be the next
two whole episodes to really throw it here.
Okay, Charlotte is at home now telling workers. She's actually kind of funny in this episode. There's a bunch of workers. They're redoing her wallpaper, and she's like, I have a Zoom meeting right now. But if you guys could just like not make noise, you can keep working, but just maybe paint.
You know what? This is a very relatable storyline. Charlotte is getting her fabulous apartment redone professionally with multiple workers redoing her, $1,000 wallpaper while she's trying to set up her Zoom, what is it, Reiki healing or something that she bought at a silent auction in a gala.
Sure. And the whole time they have the person's camera off the whole time, but you can kind of see the back of their head. So I'm like, who is this gonna be? Is this gonna be Michelle Obama? But it was like a person with a like really strong like Jersey-esque accent.
They do a reveal of this person where they expect the audience, I guess, to be like, whoa, is there an actress or actor that you could picture doing this that would actually make you go, oh, like if it was revealed it was that?
Not anyone relevant to Sex and the City. Kaya, stop it. Jesus Christ almighty.
What about Meryl Streep?
I don't know if that would be a real reveal though, because like it would be like, oh, okay.
They made this seem like, well, I understand, I guess it was the storyline that she wouldn't turn her camera off. Eventually, Charlotte starts crying, saying all of her problems when she works it all out. I mean, that's Charlotte's storyline too.
Charlotte
she turns the camera on.
Sorry, I'm getting my wallpaper redone, so can we just reschedule? And then the woman's like, no, what, this is bullshit. So fine.
She's like, for that price?
It's also really not that big of a deal. Like, calm down. You're doing a Zoom meeting.
You're on a Zoom, lady, and you very clearly
you're
have
at your house.
like a football game in the background.
Adams. Seema. Yeah, Seema's at Adams. And he explains that he has a rent-controlled, sensitized artist housing from his mom, and he pays $900 a month for it. But then I'm like, but they don't need to explain why he owns a landscaping business, so he could just afford this.
But he might be able to afford the landscaping business because he has the rent-controlled apartment. It might be helpful in that.
I guess.
I think it was a way to introduce his mother and the idea that she had lived there. The place is full of his mom's art. His mom died of breast cancer. Or do they explain what kind of cancer?
I think he just says cancer.
Just cancer.
Well, Adam shows
which you would think goes along with him not wanting Seema to use deodorant, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I know. I saw a lot of the comments about that last week saying, because of the crystals have what in it?
Like normal deodorant has aluminum and stuff, and they think that can give people cancer.
Right. So, but I'm like, this is another example of the audience giving them too much credit, because the writers said on the Writers Room podcast that the only reason that was in there is because the two chicks saw some woman putting on deodorant. So like it had nothing to do with cancer. Like it was obviously just, we want her to put on deodorant later.
But you couldn't have, but no one was there like thinking, wait. Like no one day of was like, someone was like, well, why don't we have Adam's mom have passed away of cancer? And they're like, wait, we're doing the deodorant thing. Like no one there was even able to.
Please, John, come on now. Don't say ridiculous things. So Adam shows her the plant. He's like, this is the representation of my mom. So then a smash cut.
This is a plant that he gave his mom when he was 7 years old. She had it for years. It's now trailing all over her house.
Yeah.
His house.
Like, this is my mom. A smash cut to Seema and Carrie, and Seema going, mommy issues. That's why this isn't going to work. I thought it would be because of my smoking, but he's fine with me having one exact cigarette after sex every night. And then they talk. Oh, and Seema also hired Rocco back. Because I guess she remembers she has a savings account. Because
two more episodes,
happened.
thank God.
Sure.
Thank God, 2 more episodes. We got 2 more with her. Let's see.
But like nothing has been established that she's super successful now. She just has an office, so you have less money than you did before.
Yeah,
but anyway,
and she has that assistant.
Right. So I guess I love that guy. By the way,
I do too.
I want to spin.
But again, like
he's like wearing like a skirt, I think, for this, and I like men should wear skirts more often. Like. You can make that a look. It looks so cool.
I think men should be able to just wear full dresses because I just want to be swinging.
You're a grade A queer.
Well, grade A queers can't wear dresses or else we are full gone. We're like...
You're just a woman at that point.
Here's my problem, Matthew Donahue or whatever the hell your name is. You called me a grade A queer. If you're calling me grade A, that means you like it. You want this beef. Baby.
I bet you're on Tinder. I was gonna write, and John's like, "Oh, Grinder," and I'm like, "Oh, I definitely would have written Tinder." So I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I left.
See, you need a grade A queer to be able to respond to that.
Exactly. Otherwise, I would have been stupid. Seema hired Rocco back. Okay. Carrie talks about how she likes Duncan. Like, this is such a great relationship. She's never had this kind of writing relationship with anyone. Although I'd argue you've had editors, but that's what your editor's actual job is to do.
She hasn't had a relationship like this with a man before, is what she's getting at.
And she said, someone that, and I do get this. I've never had a man see me as smart first. And Seema's like, oh, and humble. And Carrie's like, no, I don't even mean it braggy. Like, quite the opposite, she says. She goes, I mean that like a guy, people find me cute or sexy, but not smart. And so Duncan does.
Is that why they introduced Duncan as being like grumpy old man downstairs so that we don't think he's attracted to her ever?
And that's probably why they had her dressed like shit, in quotes, for most of the time she goes down there. She like never like
she's in like 6-inch stilettos.
Yeah, no, but then she's always wearing like weird like pajama-y clothes for like the past few episodes. So Carrie said, and
I like the idea of that, but I also am struggling because you're both gorgeous. And again, if you weren't Sarah Jessica Parker, I don't know what would you guys be. If again, and if he weren't whoever he is in real life,
it would be a moot point if he wasn't.
Would both of y'all be like vibing so much about, oh my God. Like
you said it 3 times.
There is an element of like, and this is on an episode. If anyone watches the Trixie and Katya reacts to stuff, they react to like Love Is Blind. One of them.
They're recapping season 7 now. Did you know that?
Oh, I did see that on their podcast.
So good, and they're like.
The thing is with their podcast though, it has 5 ad breaks, I think, and it's literally every 10 minutes, and I can't do it. But they do a thing where they're like, hot people. It's so funny watching hot people like just be like, they don't have to be funny, but then they just have people like laughing at them. Just like with this, like, do you think that Duncan would be like jizzing out over Carrie's 3 repeating line if she was just like,
not a chance,
frumpy or whatever? It's just,
there's a good line here. I thought when Carrie's like, it's Aiden thought that, no, she says something like, oh, it's nothing more than that. And Seema goes, well, maybe it could it be more? Would it be more? And Carrie says like, no, maybe having more with him may make it less. And I thought that was a really fascinating topic that they of course don't really touch. But that if they had sex, it would like ruin the actual what they've established.
Oh, but guess what, guys? They have sex. Yeah. You would think Amanda made a good point. That if,
did?
Yes, that it would have been better if they didn't have sex later in the episode.
It'd be more empowering for sure. Yes. And like seeing Carrie, grow as a person for
she said she liked him so much because he saw her for something else. So maybe
he was pretty hot in that scene there. He was asking her downstairs. He looked so hot.
Girl. I thought he was hot in every episode, but he had this like tuxedo type shirt that was like and he's like he's like down the stairs and she's above him and he's like, yes.
Yeah.
Do you
In the
want to come
twilight, the
downstairs?
moonlight, like Trey.
He's like, I'm done. I'm done
Next,
writing.
so that scene's over, right? They discuss that. Oh, and then Carrie also has a line where Seema's like, yeah, this plant. And Carrie's like, are you crazy? Having, what does she say? She says, families that are living, that's the real threat. At least like the mom is dead, basically. So throwing a little shade at the school shooter over there in Pennsylvania. Miranda and Charlotte walk to the salon, and Miranda's very funny in this scene, I thought, where she's like, yeah, now he quit the crab shack and now he's moving in with me. Like, what the fuck? Now all of a sudden I'm like mother of the year because he's mad at Steve because Steve threatened him.
I liked Miranda's outfit in this.
Yes, both of them looked so good here.
Well, they did.
She tells us that she's going to, it's like a coup to meet the baby mama. She wants to be part of this baby's life again, which I don't know if Miranda really would do this because Miranda doesn't care about kids. I don't think she's a very maternal. I don't know what it would be like for like a grandparent situation, but
from a lawyer side, she should be like on top of this because.
But that doesn't seem like that's what she's doing. It seems like they're writing it like she wants to be like a grandmother.
Is it?
I don't know.
I can't tell what they're writing it is as, and they've only they have 2 more episodes to resolve it for the rest of life. Like
a teen pregnancy. Although I guess this girl's probably like in her 20s. But anyway,
we're gonna do a fast forward like a year.
Oh, okay. That if the whole last episode was like 2 years,
5
later,
years from now,
let's do that. I can handle.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate that either.
I still wish that he got Lily pregnant. I don't care.
No. Well, they're both still young. He can still get her pregnant. They walk in and she asks for Mia, the hairdresser, and the receptionist says, there's no Mia that's a stylist. Although I think that the receptionist would put 2 and 2 together and assume it's
the way they wrote this was confusing for me.
It was really confusing
the first time
because oh, she's the shampoo girl, it turns out. But except, isn't the shampoo girl the receptionist? At my salon, the receptionist is the shampoo girl.
No, at high-end salons, they're like the shampoo person is like, that's what they do. They just would do that. But the way that they introduce it is like Miranda comes in and is like, hi, I just am wondering if Mia has an opening. And the girl's like,
oh, yeah.
There isn't a stylist here named Mia. And then a girl walks out and she's like, drying her hands off, and she's very visible. Like she looks, I don't know, 8 months pregnant.
Yeah, she's super pregnant.
Like you would think that this was maybe like 2 months pregnant. And she's like, did someone say my name? And Miranda's like, oh my God, I've just heard about how great your services are.
What? So then does she dye her hair or then does she just take her? Can you go in and just get a shampoo?
She says she just washes it.
Can you do that? Is that like a service someone would get?
You could do that, but you would also get a blowout, I think, too.
Yeah, actually, it does feel good when they shampoo your hair. You get a little head massage, kind of.
Yeah, if you go in for a blowout, I think they wash your hair. Maybe I don't know, y'all. Someone tell me.
As she's shampooing Miranda's hair, she farts
numerous times in a way that is not like a oops, oh my God. It's like a I don't give a shit if I just fart all over.
I'm pregnant.
You're telling me that a woman is going to, no matter how pregnant they are, in a high-end, well, I guess it's not high-end.
Miranda's head is like right there at ass level too.
You're telling that doesn't make sense.
Well, she says, she's like, Miranda says, tell me about this pregnancy. And she goes, I was going to get an abortion. And then I realized that she would be a double Libra. Does that mean that her and Brady are both Libras?
Yeah.
Or is it depend on like when the child will be born? I don't know anything about that.
I don't know.
Double Libra. Hang on,
I guess a double Libra would mean that it's like when they're both the parents are Libras.
Double Libra refers to having your sun and moon signs in Libra. So we're both Libra.
Oh, okay.
This intensifies the characteristics associated with the Libra zodiac sign, such as a strong desire for balance, harmony, and fairness.
I hated this girl. I hated this character.
Well, yes, she's the Nepo baby. Her name is Elle Bailey or something.
I didn't hate the acting. I hated the character.
Actually,
it was better than Mamie Gummer was on this week's episode of Smash.
Yeah, she was really bad on that. Yeah, she's good. Elle Stiller is her name.
Mm-hmm.
Miranda's like, tell me about the dad. What about the dad?
She's like, don't you think you should get a paternity test?
Oh yeah. I mean, this was
the
funny.
girl's like, who the fuck are you?
Right? So she's like, who are you? And Miranda reveals who she is. And then she's like, I think we can. Oh, this part.
She like sprays her down.
She sprays her in the head, but then she goes, I want us to. I'm still processing this as the grandmother, and I think we should have a family connection so that we can get to know this little boy or girl. And then Mia says, "Boy or girl, listen to you. You're so binary," which I thought might have been them commenting on their own wokeness, or they were just being annoyingly woke.
I think what they're actually doing is they're making fun of someone. They're making fun of a younger generation who might possibly be like, I don't care what my child is born as, you know?
Well, she says, you're so binary. And then as she walks away, you hear a fart. And then somebody off camera goes, Jesus, Mia. And I did find that very funny. It was very funny.
You did? See, I hated it.
Comedically timed well.
All I could think is why. Because the farts were so badly, pumped in. They didn't even sound at all natural. It was like, it was like MPK was like, we gotta fluff this up.
Everyone loves a fart joke. Am I right? Charlotte, wait.
No.
God, I'm way ahead here. Jesus, man. Carrie and Duncan now. He's gonna come upstairs for the first time. And the writers go on and on. And they're like, every writer knows these darn printers. And I said, that's true for anyone who owns a printer. I dragged this printer with me from New York 3 years ago. It's never been plugged in. Like if I print something, everything I've printed in the past 3 years,
printers.
I've gotten my NTW to print for me and then drop off in my mailbox.
Great. Well, writers, you're not a writer.
I'm not a writer. I'm like, that's everyone's printer, though. I've seen TikToks about that too, where it's just like printers just suck. They just never, they work when they decide they want to work.
Mm-hmm.
Paper jam. And Carrie's like, you should see my shoes. Duncan looks at her shoes and he does some hilarious comedy bits with it. And then he invites her to this event he has going on with his editor who's going to be in town. Now we have LTW at home. The daughter's like, you're never here. You need to spend more time with this hamster. And she's let the hamster out. And so LTW freaks out and says, how could you do something this stupid? And then George Washington's bitch ass mom comes in and is like, you're a terrible mother.
Also, we've only ever seen her mother like not incredibly quickly mobile. So what? The mother's like waiting around the corner, around the door, listening, because she pops out and is like, how dare you say that to your daughter? It's like, okay.
So George Washington comes in and there was a kind of a little bit of a hotness here where he's like, oh, you're only human. And then he kind of gets all sexy with her. And she's like, you're crazy if you think we have time, if you have time to something, slip that in. That's what she said. Something like, if you think we have time to slip that in right now. And he goes, oh, I can slip it in. And I was like, ooh, Harold, or what's his name? Is it Harold? What's his Gerald? Is it Gerald?
No, it's
Howard. Harold. What is it?
Something with an H.
Okay, hang on. What's his actual name?
Herbert.
Oh my God, I knew. Okay, God. I was going to write
Washington. Okay.
George Washington, and just like that real name. Great. So that was kind of hot.
Again, all I can think about when I think about her is like, well, we got 2 more episodes to find out what happens for LTW's life. Okay.
Well, Michelle Obama is a definite.
Well, so I would assume if they don't imagine
if that is the red herring of the fucking century. Seema comes downstairs now to smoke. I guess she's just fucked. This scene was really cinematically beautiful. She's like walking down these stairs and she's got like this big like shawl on, and then she lights her cigarette and falls, I guess, or just knocks the thing out the window. I rewatched it and there's no indication on what exactly happened right there.
She opens the window. Mind you, this place has, I don't know, 20 windows.
There's probably one up in the loft.
She chose the window that the pot with his mom in it is sitting on. She opens the window, lights her cigarette, and this is genuinely it. Whoa! Like, I mean,
falls.
She doesn't even fall. It's like she just kind of like somehow knocks the thing over.
Yeah, and someone in our live chat
she's like,
said,
whoa.
Someone in our live chat said, you can hear the plant go before falling. Nobody's fun anymore. I want to have fun.
I don't like that. I think it's rude, and I think Adam should break up with her.
Well, she goes up to the loft, and he's like, this loft would be a hell no for me, by the way. Not just because of the ankle, but like it is like teeny. It's the loft. It's like the loft in the movie The Room, which is like
she like sticks her head up in this.
She's like, Adam, I knocked this down, and he's like, oh, okay. So then they
says,
obviously
I killed your mom.
I killed your mom. He goes, what? Am I dreaming? And she's like, no, I killed your plant. And then we just cut it. And then there was obviously a scene somewhere in there that they got rid of. A sequitur to the next scene. But we have Charlotte's Charlotte's back on her Zoom meeting. Oh no, sorry. Charlotte is at Carrie's now to use the Zoom there.
Sorry,
and they have,
just yawned.
They have a lovely conversation here where Kristen Davis is very fun. And then Miranda's catching strays here. Carrie's like, I got defensive because Charlotte asked about the dress, and Carrie's like, I was gonna wear it. Duncan asked me. And Charlotte's like, oh, okay, that's great. And Carrie's like, everyone thinks me and Duncan are gonna have sex and that it's more than it is. And Charlotte's like, okay, well, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And Carrie's like, no, I got very defensive with Miranda, and now I'm getting defensive with you. And God, if I went out with Duncan, Miranda would never let me hear the end of it. And then Charlotte's like, well, you know what? Fuck Miranda. And Carrie's like, yeah, you're right. I like you like this. Like, what did Miranda do?
I would say they didn't build this up enough.
Nope.
For never in any of the series have we seen Charlotte say fuck whoever about anyone.
Fuck Miranda. And I think that the way that Carrie bit off Miranda's head when she mildly mentioned it, I promise you, Carrie, Miranda's not giving you her goddamn opinion about anything ever. That wasn't even an opinion either. That was just
Sometimes
her saying
it's better to just let people bury themselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Miranda's like locked and loaded. Okay. Anyway, Adam goes to visit Seema at Patel. Oh, that's great. Charlotte's like, you should go to the party because the dress is really nice, even though we both don't think the dress is that great. Charlotte opens the Zoom, and there's she's like, my husband just got through cancer and it was the scariest I've ever been. And then Susie Essman is revealed as the therapist. And she's like, I'm sorry, you forget people are human over Zoom. I'm here now. If I were Charlotte, I'd be like, no, it's going to be a requirement for my therapist, who I'm paying $300 an hour for me to see her face and not a blank screen with her name written on it. Do you think that's bare minimum for a therapist?
Yeah.
So that
very much so.
That's the end of that story. Adam now goes to visit Seema at Patel Industries or whatever. What's it called? The Patel Group. Adam gives her the plant, and she's like, I ruined your mother. I killed your mother. And he goes, did you though? And it turns out that he went down to the...
Oh my God, I can't stop yawning.
He went down to the street and he collected all the plant and made a bunch of different plants with it. And then he gave it to Seema.
I'm just going to say, I also think if this pot fell out of the window, like, you could just put it in a new pot.
100% you could. I keep saying 100%.
The roots are still together, like...
Now we're at the Wesley family, minus one daughter, because again, they have officially killed off the daughter, like in Family Matters. They leave for the election, and then they come right back, and he lost.
Hey guys, if in case you didn't know, the election was happening this episode.
Yeah, well, you didn't know because
there's no fanfare, nothing.
They come back and they lose, and the old mom is Herbert's mother is like, I don't know why you would join a race where there was any chance you could lose. And then he's like, I'm a loser. And LTW is like, no, but you're only human. You're only human. That's the end of that. Right? Yeah. Carrie now is stepping down the stairs, the stoop, in her heels.
The stoop?
In like some, I don't know, less nice dress and kind of a
other outfit.
Other outfit. And then she stops. And she goes back up, and then it's revealed that she put that sexy dress back on, even though, again, it's not. It looks somebody said it in the chat too. It looks like the outfit that she wore at the end of the last episode when she was going to meet the girls, except that dress was better than this one.
I just thought this seemed oversized in a way, but also very like her boobs were out, but then also the skirt seemed like too long and the top also seemed too big, and then this jacket was like, I just didn't care.
I fell asleep listening to the writer's room last night, so I haven't re-listened. So maybe they mentioned that.
This outfit though, like I was saying somewhere here maybe, is that maybe this is a representation of her being allowed to be her full self because she sees that, or she thinks Duncan sees her for more than just sex, except that she is showing a lot of cleavage. So slight contradiction.
I don't know. So she goes to the event, and the second he walks in, his editor is like, Carrie Bradshaw has just entered the building.
I liked this.
Yeah.
This is one of the first times we see Carrie like that the world around you recognizes that you are a famous writer.
They're at least acknowledging it. And the sequence of her walking, she's kind of stomping. She's stomping the runway to
now that she's left Aiden, she can,
so she and it's very cinematic and beautiful, and the song was really pretty, and she walks in. Back at Giuseppe's. Oh, we wrap up Giuseppe already earlier. Carrie now is talking to Duncan and his editor, and he asked the editor for an extension, and she says, we'll talk about it next week when you're back in London, darling. And Carrie and Duncan now at home.
The editor was his wife, though, his ex-wife.
It was?
He says a line, oh, yes, I married my editor because she blah, blah, blah. Okay. That woman was his ex-wife.
Well, then Carrie should run, because this literally just happened with Aiden. He slept with Kathy. You don't need to date someone who's friends with who has a working relationship with your ex.
I would say that as far as television couples go, Duncan and Carrie are not interesting to watch. And so it's kind of good that the show's ending in that way. They're not fun. They're not.
And Carrie's meeting up with all of these people's ex-wives because she met up with Natasha, but then she also met up with Big's ex-wife in France in part at the beginning of part 2.
Okay.
Okay, so he's going down to his place and she's going up. And I actually like the way he asked her. He's like, would you like to come inside or come into my place? And he goes, to be clear, I don't have any more writing planned for the night. So he's obviously soliciting sex. So a helicopter going by outside? Fuck. Anyway, she's like, no. She shakes her head no. And then she powerfully walks up the stairs to her apartment because she doesn't need a man to be the center of her life, and she wants to keep a boundary. Nope. Then the music glissandos, as you said. She goes, Duncan, 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 and then they kiss, and they wake up in bed, and then they talk. And I guess they've kind of just agreed that, all right, well, bye.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm never coming. I'm leaving forever.
Yeah,
because he implies someone else will live there.
I hope she doesn't go to. God, please don't have her move for a man.
I think she.
Please. Maybe then it ends with her and Samantha hanging out.
Oh.
Do you think that maybe Michael Patrick King in that statement is also playing with us, and that there is going to be another iteration of this series, and he's just saying this? We're going to end this series as we know it. Is there a way of that? Do you want me to read it again? The ongoing storytelling is coming to an end. While I was writing the last episode of And Just Like That, it became clear this might be a wonderful place to stop. We decided to end the popular series this year with a 2-part finale. We held off and then announcing.
It does end the series.
Yeah, but he's not necessarily saying that there's not going to be, maybe it'll be I Couldn't Help But Wonder next.
Prediction, if they can somehow get Samantha, if they pay her $10 million... Final episode of this season and series are Carrie and the 2 girls are somehow in London. They walk up to they go to lunch and no one knows. And guess who's at the table? Samantha. The 4 of them sit down at the table, and then it just moves on. And you're like, okay, fine. I'm happy because the 4 are back together.
I would go so far as to say that would go down in history as one of the best series finales ever.
I could see it too, because the main thing people have bitched about your whole show is that you're missing Samantha. We need Samantha.
Yeah.
So bring her back and then act as though their life now continues with Samantha. Even I don't think that's going to happen. I want to know, guys. That's what happens though. They fuck, the end. This episode's pretty much over then, right?
Yeah.
And
The woman sat in her garden. Even though summer had come and now gone, she could feel the warmth of its lingering touch on her face and body. How wonderful, how wonderful, how wonderful.
Sexy. Guys, I want you to write in the comments, if you're on YouTube, first of all, hit subscribe, hit like, all that stuff. Write Hour 10 crew, and then write your predictions of how's the series going to end. I want to know, what's the last scene going to be? Is it all a dream?
Oh my God.
What?
Jody's on like a Zoom, like a big Zoom meeting right now. And like between like that goes to commercials and just like that, it like is promoted here in this screenshot here.
Wow.
See? Like it's as a recommended.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
That's because it's your thing, right?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, well anyway, that's that. Join our Patreon, join us on YouTube. You can subscribe on YouTube. It's the same as Patreon. Yeah. We love you guys.
I am really like, I'm gonna be thinking about it the next 2 weeks. How's this baby gonna end? We could I'll run it by Amanda. We love you guys so much. Leave us comments, all that stuff. Bye.
Bye. Let's play this.